Welcome to the Big Success Show. Today, freedom or security? Which do you choose?
Big Success with the Professor and Mary-Lynn.
Big success is life on your own terms, and the 5 elements of big success are money, time, growth, work, and play. Now, money has a different meaning to different people.
Today, we're going to look at 2 ways of looking at money.
Money can be a source of financial security, or it can be a source of financial freedom. Hi, I'm George the Professor.
I'm Mary-Lynn. Today's show is brought to you by the Financial Freedom Tool. Evaluate your personal finances like a professional, even if you aren't a financial whiz. Learn more at financialfreedomtool.com.
So I'd like to start today with just some definitions of what we're talking about when we say freedom and security.
When we talk about security here, we're talking about things like your personal financial security or job security.
That sounds good, doesn't it?
And then freedom means financial freedom and career freedom.
Oh, that sounds good too.
Those sound great.
Now, many experts say that it's a trade-off. You have to choose one or the other. We're going to examine that idea today.
So here's a few questions. Given the definitions that we just gave, when we say security, what do you think?
I think, Mary-Lynn, most people, they probably start thinking about things like a regular paycheck, an annual salary increase, and no fear of losing your job.
Now, what do you think of when we say freedom?
Well, you might say creative control. I think that's big in your world, Mary-Lynn, right?
Mm-hmm. That's why I left my corporate job to start this company. I just didn't have any creative control. And I loved the company I worked for. I loved what I did, but I needed more. I wanted more creative control. So.
Now, for other people, freedom means no money worries. Mm-hmm. Some might say freedom means getting to set my own schedule or be my own boss. These are all possible definitions for freedom. The cool news is you get to pick the one that you think's right for you.
Exactly. Now, which one is more fun to think about? Security or freedom?
Well, freedom, of course. In fact, most people, when you say the word freedom, they kind of tend to get a smile on their face when they're just thinking about it, because thinking about security just doesn't yield the same emotions as freedom. I think one is somewhat defensive and the other one is more offensive.
Right. Or one is more a need and the other is considered a want.
Exactly. That's a great point. So if that's the case, why do we spend so much time worrying about security and so little time planning for freedom? That's a good question, isn't it?
Yeah.
But of course, now you might say it's because you have bills to pay and a family to take care of.
Right. You don't have time to be daydreaming over there about what freedom has to offer.
Yeah, get your head out of the clouds, for crying out loud.
Which brings us to this question, which is intriguing. What if you could have both freedom and security? That's
one of the things that we try to do at Big Success. We try to eliminate trade-offs, right? Now, you can't always do it, but we try to. And isn't that the ideal?
To have both.
To have both. Exactly right. So we want to offer some suggestions here pretty soon, but we want you to think about how secure a job really is, because it may not be as security-oriented as people think. You be the judge after we get done with this next little section. Yeah,
we've got 2 scenarios for you to consider here. Scenario 1, you're an employee with an employer, which is very traditional.
But entrepreneurs have this habit of looking at the essence of things. And when you look at the essence of a job situation, right, you're selling a service. Mm-hmm. You're selling your time. You're selling your talents. You're selling your expertise in exchange for money, right? So think of your employer as your customer. Your customer. Think of the services you provide to your employer as your business. Now look carefully at that. Isn't that what a job really is? Now let's keep going with this. So how many customers do you have in this situation?
You have one customer.
Exactly right, Mary-Lynn. So what happens if you lose that customer?
You lose all of your income.
So how secure is that?
That's not very secure.
It's not. And so the thing is, what we've got to pay attention to here is secure may not be as secure as we think it is.
Here's scenario number 2. You're self-employed. So freedom. I've got my own company. I'm doing my own thing.
So picture yourself in that business with 5 customers. Okay. You've got 5 customers.
Okay.
To keep it simple, assume that each of these customers gives you exactly the same amount of business, and that the amount of business that you get totally replaces all your compensation from your other situation with an employer. Okay. So what happens if you lose 1 customer now? You've got 5 all doing the same amount of business. What happens to your income now?
Well, it still takes a hit, but you only lose 20% of your income.
20%. So which one's more secure?
Okay. Now, wait a minute, though. I think this is a little oversimplified because with a job, you do get unemployment insurance. You get a contract. You get severance pay. There are some things that come along with that you don't get as a self-employed person.
I would agree with that, Mary-Lynn. That's true. So we can stipulate that. However, it doesn't change how you're going to feel when you realize that your job is being eliminated or you're being let go for any number of reasons. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you rather have a life free from that concern? To do that, you need more than one source of income. You need multiple customers.
Okay. So let's talk about that and 2 ways to get started having both freedom and security. Number 1, start a business part-time.
Yeah, your part-time business may be related to what you already do, or maybe it's not. If it's related, make sure that you're not violating any company policies. Mm-hmm. So how do you get started in such a business? Guess what? Here's how hard it is. Get a customer. Now you've diversified your income. Then get another one. You're even better off now, and you keep going. Before you know it, you'll be experiencing this financial freedom. And guess what? You may still have that job, but here's the deal. Hopefully the income from your part-time business grows to exceed your full-time salary. You see this? Mm-hmm. You're free now and secure.
All right. 2 ways to have both freedom and security. And the second way, in addition to the part-time job, is to invest aggressively.
Yeah, you don't have to start your own business to have the kind of freedom that we're talking about. Start setting aside money every month into your freedom fund. If you invest it wisely over time, you'll see your passive income start to grow. When your passive income equals your salary from your full-time job, guess what? You're free and secure. If this strategy interests you, check out our podcast on getting aggressively passive.
Right, and you'll find a link to that article in today's show notes. So today we talked about definitions of freedom and security. We talked about how to get both. 2 ways, in fact, in which you can get both freedom and security. So, Professor, what's our big takeaway?
Don't let a false sense of security hold you back. Ultimately, true security comes from the freedom you find when you pursue your dreams with passion, and it leads to big success.
Find the money you need to start a part-time business or to start investing aggressively with our Financial Freedom Tool. Get it at financialfreedomtool.com.
And we thank you so much for listening today.
Until next time,
here's to your big success.
Find big success at biggsuccess.com.